This iron-on tutorial is going to show you how to apply one layer of iron-on vinyl onto your chosen blank. You'll also need a mat to put into your machine if you're not using smart vinyl, and some form of heat press to apply the iron-on vinyl onto your shirt or other blank. I've got some of my mystery box supplies from the Cupcake Sprinkles mystery box. That's where I got this vinyl and shirt. If you're new to Cricut, mystery boxes are a great way to stack up in your craft room at a discounted price, and they usually come with a little Cricut cutie charm inside as well. When it comes to iron-on vinyl, one side will always have plastic. With glitter iron-on, it's really easy to tell which side it is. It's the nice, pretty color side. And the other side will be material. So when you place it on the mat, you always want to put this heat-resistant plastic on the mat directly, so that the material side is facing upwards to be cut. The edges of the mat, especially the top, should be well adhered to the mat, just so that they don't catch on the machine when it's cutting. So this is the image that I've decided to cut out of this pretty pink glitter. Everything will be pre-uploaded in this project, but I am going to make sure to change the size. Depending on the design, I typically like to leave 2 to 3 inches on either side of the shirt. So this will show our preview here. Because it is iron-on vinyl, we do want to click the mirror button on. Mirror essentially will just flip the image backwards. Because we are cutting on the back of that material and the front plastic is adhered to the mat, when it comes time to apply, we're going to be flipping it over so that the material can get sticky with heat and apply to the blank. So if it's not mirrored, it's going to be backwards when it comes time to apply it on your shirt. But to browse through all the materials, click this browse button, and you can either search up here at the top or scroll through to find what you're looking for. But I'm going to select iron-on glitter. It will give this little warning about turning it on, the mirror option, but it automatically does turn it on now. Once we have everything ready in Design Space, the button to blink is the one you want to press. So this one is the upload button to insert the mat into the machine. With this cut, we want to use a fine point blade. That's the blade that comes with your machine. And once it's done checking the blade as well as the mat, the blinking button for play will start, and that will start the cut. If you're unsure about the material and the cut setting, or it's your first time cutting a new material and you want to make sure that it went all the way through, you can always use your weeding tool to just pick up a small part of the image and make sure that it weeds nicely. If you're trying to remove pieces and they're really not coming off at all, before unloading the mat, so don't click the unload button that's blinking, click the go button again and it will recut the exact same spot. In this case, it's perfect. We can unload and start to weed. To remove from the mat, it's a lot easier to flip over and bend, especially with paper or permanent vinyl. You'll notice it more. It'll just prevent any tearing in the design. We also want to make sure to trim this as close as possible. You can see here, this is the last line of cut. Now that Cricut has done its part and cut the material, it's up to us to remove the excess and reveal the design. To do that, we're going to use a weeding tool, which is just a term for any kind of metal pick that can remove the excess vinyl. I always recommend starting in the top right or left corner and working your way in to reveal the design. If it's cut properly, it should be fairly simple to weed. If you're not having good results with the weeding process, you can always double check the material, a setting that you're using to cut. Make sure that your mat is sticky and that you have a fresh blade. Now that the bulk of the material is removed, the excess, you can typically skip a line and move to the next line to start weeding. So we're going to skip the line that is the letter and move to the inside to weed or remove the tiny little details here. To apply it, you want to make sure that you're flipping it over to see that nice pretty glitter color and only applying heat to the side that has the plastic. When it comes time to apply heat to your design, you can always find the Cricut heat guide from within Design Space on the home page. The heat guide will let you select the different machine that you're using, as well as the type of iron-on and base material. So we're going to select glitter iron-on, and we're using a t-shirt blank. It will automatically select the pressing mat. We're looking to use 330 Fahrenheit for 30 seconds after a 5-second preheat. And this is very important as well. Remove the liner when cool to touch. So if you try to remove the liner when it's warm, the iron-on might still come off the t-shirt. So this is a cool peel. Set the press by clicking the power button. To set the temperature, we're going to click that temperature button up top and decrease down to 330. And to select the time, same thing, we'll click the little clock and we'll reduce the time to 30 seconds. If you're looking to change from Fahrenheit to Celsius, you can just hold the temperature button and it will switch between the two. But here I tend to use the Fahrenheit option. Do the 5-second preheat. Set it back to the side and place the decal. Now when placing down the easy press, you're going to press the green button to start it and apply firm pressure. You don't have to push to break the table, but if someone were to pull on the cord, you're going to be pressing enough that it wouldn't move. You want to avoid moving it back and forth. That's just going to cause the machine sometimes to pick up the fabric or bunch the fabric under the design. You're really letting the weight of the press with the light pressure you're applying to do the work. Now this is a cold peel, so when it beeps, just place it back to the side and don't remove the heat transfer tape yet. Just wait for it to cool down before peeling it off. If this is your first time applying iron-on vinyl, you can always do a small test, especially at the pieces where it's very thin, and just lift it and make sure that it's not peeling. If for some reason it is peeling, you can always try flipping it over and doing an additional press on the back for 10 to 15 seconds. But typically, especially with the Cricut material, if you follow what's in the heat guide, it tends to not be wrong because they've practiced and tested the material. With the glitter iron-on vinyl, you want to be sure that if you are deciding to layer this product, to use it as the top layer only. As a base layer, you will not be able to apply vinyl on top of glitter iron-on. That's just something to be aware of if you're choosing to go with glitter iron-on.